Udah చెప్పలేదు కాస్త అక్కడ కాస్త ఉన్నాయి.
Yeah, so it is 6:45, so we'll start now, final session. So welcome all to this concluding session of this exam 2021 workshop. It was very nice 1 week. So we had these various lectures on different topics we have heard about from all the resource persons. And today we are concluding the session. So as per agenda shared with you, the first lecture will be, there is a talk given by Dr. Sugandha Maheshwari. You have already known her from last 6 days. So I'll just share her brief CV here, quite exhaustive CV. And as you can see from the CV, she has excelled in her all her exams from UGC CSIR as well as GATE, JAM, NBHM exams, and she has received various scholarships. And she is doing excellent work in research as well. And she is going to talk about her the journey as well as the what are the fellowships available in mathematics, what are the opportunities available, research opportunities available in mathematics. And she will start this by this some 20 minutes talk, and then we'll take over for the concluding session. So over to you, Sugandha.
Thank you, Vivek. I request you to please unshare. So do you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So hello everybody, once again we are at the concluding session, and this part of the program on research opportunities, motivation and awareness, this was especially keeping in mind the queries we keep receiving from students every now and then. So I'd like to share some general information about the kind of exams that you can appear for, the institute options that you have, and all the things which may possibly benefit you, right? So some of the information may be not relevant to you depending upon the career stage which you are in, but it doesn't really hurt to have knowledge, right? You may need it in future. So I've tried to put up everything that I gained so far in all these years.
Sugandha, can you make it a full screen?
Actually, I tried, but then it's creating other problems. So I'd rather go with this. Maybe I'll zoom if the screen is not too clear.
No, it is going out of the window. Control L doesn't work. It is PDF file, no? It is Control L should work.
Yes, but actually the thing is, I also want to be connected to YouTube at the same time.
Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, fine. This is okay.
So there won't be much of technical details. So this will be fine, I guess.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. All right. So I'll begin talking about the entrance exams that you can appear for, and the first and foremost, which you are aware of already, the CSIR UGC NET exam. CSIR, which is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and UGC stands for University Grants Commission. So they have this common national eligibility test, and this is the foremost and kind of most familiar paper that you know of, and this is the one we kept in mind while having this workshop all the time, right? So as you are already aware, I'll just go over what does it provide you. So if you want to go for a lecturership, you want to be a lecturer in a college or a university or any educational institute, this is sort of must. And also for eligibility of being assistant professor in Indian universities and colleges, right? And if you are able to clear this JRF level, then you're also eligible for junior research fellowship. So that's the same exam, it's only marks cutoff which makes the two different. And also this provides you a monthly stipend for 5 years. So initially you have 2 years of JRF, and then it converts to SRF, Senior Research Fellowship. And also you have annual contingent grant, which you can use for various purposes, various expenditures that you have towards your research, right? So this is a familiar one. I won't go into much talking about this. And you also know that this is conducted twice a year, generally in June and December. But there is some alteration in timeline right now because of the pandemic, because the situation is not normal. And to the best of my knowledge, notification for this year is not released, but you must keep an eye on whenever it is there, right? And if I talk about the eligibility, you need to have an integrated BSMS program or a post-graduation in mathematics, and a minimum of 55% marks you must have secured. It could be either a completed degree or you could be in final year. When it comes to JRF, the age limit is 28 years, and for lecturership, there is no age limit that you have, right? And in addition, sometimes students are not aware of SPMF, Shama Prasad Mukherjee Fellowship. So this is a very prestigious fellowship, and this is awarded on the basis of the same exam. So about 15 topmost rank holders are shortlisted for interview, right? They appear for interview, and approximately 1/3 of the candidates are awarded this fellowship, right? Like when I appeared for this, 4 students all over India were selected for this fellowship. So 5 is upper limit, not even 5 at times it is given. And then you have increased stipend in this case, and also the contingent grant is higher in case of SPM fellowship, right? And the next one that you must have heard of is a GATE exam, which is Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. The name is a little deceptive in the sense that it is not only meant for engineers. There is also a section, a paper meant for mathematics students, those who have opted for post-graduation. And so the purpose of appearing into this would be because it acts as a screening test for various institutions like IIT Bangalore, IITs, and several other universities in India as well as abroad. They consider this exam for a screening test, right? By screening, I mean they will kind of shortlist you for interview for the another stage. And one good thing about this is also that there are some public sector undertakings, recruitment, which are done on the basis of this exam. If you are in, say, top rankers, then you can appear for a recruitment of these PSUs. For example, in mathematics, I mean, this is general thing that I'm saying about engineering, but for mathematics, DRDO recruits. DRDO stands for Defense Research and Development Organization. It is Government of India organization, and you get all the benefits under the recruitment that one may expect. Also ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, that I am aware of, recruits through GATE exam. So and this is what I'm indicating in the mathematics section, right? For engineering, there are a lot many options by this. And regarding this, you must know that this generally occurs in February every year. It goes over 5 to 6 days, but for mathematics, it's generally in the second week of February that you will be able to face this exam. But again, as I said, due to pandemic, the situations have changed, so I really can't say when the notification will be released, or if it is for this year also, if it is already released, or when it is to be released. You'll have to check website for that. And eligibility is saying you must be in final year of your post-graduation or must have completed it. The nice thing about this exam is that score remains valid for 2 years, right? And so even if you appear in your MSc first year and you're able to clear it, it will remain valid for 2 years. But then you need to take care that this does not give you any stipend like CSIR, UGC, JRF exam, right? You need to take care of that. Okay, the another one that we have that you see on screen is NBHM exam, right? NBHM stands for National Board for Higher Mathematics. Again, this is a DAE body, the Department of Atomic Energy. government is a body, of course, for upliftment of mathematics. So they conduct various exams, and PhD scholarship test is one of the exams which is quite relevant in your context, assuming that mostly postgraduate students are there. Then grant of this NBHM scholarship is there for pursuing research for a PhD degree in mathematics, right? Also, and this grant is at par with the CSIR UGC fellowship that you have. It's almost the equal slab that you get there. And not only the grant, the score which you have for this written test, this is also used for interview shortlisting. So this also acts as a screening test for various institutes like HRI, IISERs, IMSK. I'll talk about these institutes also in a while. So this also acts as a screening test apart from UGC, CSIR, NET, and GATE. And I'd say this is a really important one. Generally, this is conducted during January every year. And for this year, you'll again have to check out. The things are not normal, we know that. And the eligibility remains the same. But then some students from statistics also can apply in this, right? Not just mathematics. And that remains valid for the other cases also, the CSIR, UGC, NET also. But then you need to have first class or equivalent grade in all years from +2 level onwards. You cannot be having low grade marks in BSc and getting this fellowship, this scholarship. So that is something you need to maintain. And also, sometimes a relaxation is considered for BSc honors course students. Those who have passed it with the second class, they can also apply. And this is also eligible. This is also valid for students who hold a 4-year BS or equivalent degree, or those who are in final year of any such program. Okay. Then there are some institutes which conduct their own exam. For example, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, which happens to be premier institute of research in, especially in mathematics. There you have this PhD entrance exam, which is conducted by themselves only, and it is followed by interview. It's not only the exam that you need to appear for. And also CETs, I'm just writing a common term. This is not name of any exam. So common entrance tests are taken by universities, the central universities, the state universities. For example, Hyderabad University PhD entrance exam is there. Delhi University takes its own exams. So it's not just the national level exams that you have. You also have some individual institute exams that you can appear for, right? And there are some other exams which could be beneficial for you. For example, NBHM also puts MA MSc scholarship exam. And that's not only meant for, if you're in your first year, you can avail it for 2 years. If you're in your second year, you can avail it for 1 year. So do appear for this MA MSc scholarship exam, depending upon the career stage at which you are. This is generally conducted under 5 zones, right? And you will be able to find all the details on the website. Sorry. Then this is this JEST. If you find out about this exam, this will be mostly for admission in PhD in physics and related subjects. But why I mentioned it here is because some institutes do allow you with applied mathematics also, right? So if you clear this exam but want to do a PhD in a mathematics inclined area, but not in mathematics, for example, in physics and neuroscience, then maybe this exam could be beneficial for you, right? But there are very limited institutes which allow you, which have this as eligibility. Then this JAM exam is a joint admission test. I'm not sure. Let me not just guess it. So this JAM is for admission to IITs for post-graduation. So after your BSc or when you're in your final year of your BSc, you can appear in this exam, and then this will let you have admission to MSc programs or of IITs in India, right? And also, yeah. So I'll now talk about some institutes where you can do your research in mathematics, right? So, okay, so yeah, so a part of it will be a little repetitive in the sense because the fellowships are connected to institutes are connected to exams and things like that. So let's just go over them again. So as I mentioned, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai is the...
It's 7 o'clock.
I'm sorry. Is an institute, is a premier research institute that we have in country where you can do research in mathematics. They conduct their own exam. They provide you 2 courses. It could be a PhD, it could be integrated PhD also, where you have MS and PhD put together. And they have their own entrance exam, as I told you earlier. This is called as TAFR Graduate Studies Admission Test. And this is followed by an interview also, right? And then we have this TFR Center for Applicable Mathematics. So this is International Center for Theoretical Sciences. This T should have been capital, International Center for Theoretical Sciences, or ICTs to what we know as. This is located in Bangalore, and they also provide you a PhD program. Then the mode to get through it is one of these options. Like you can either appear for TAFR Graduate Studies Admission Test, or if you have high GATE score, it must be in the top 10 percentile, right? And in CSIR UGC NET exam, if you have ranked in first 50, then you're eligible for being screened out. I mean, if you have either of GATE or CSIR condition satisfied, you need not appear for their entrance exam. But of course, this will be followed by an interview for appointing you as a research scholar, right? Then we have this research institute, Harish Chandra Research Institute, again, autonomous body. It's a research institute where research is carried out in physics as well as mathematical sciences. This is in Prayagraj, earlier known as Allahabad, and they provide you PhD program. The mode of entering there is either it could be NTHM screening test that I mentioned about earlier, or it could be some particular cutoff that they provide for UGC CSIR exam, and that's what they announce annually, right? And as usual, this is also followed by interview. Then there is this another institute that we have, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, institute dedicated to very high quality of research again. So here also you have a PhD as well as integrated PhD degree program that you can join any of these. And the mode to it is, it can be either of the ones that I have talked about, NDHM screening test, GATE score. It should be valid, like within that 2 years window or whatsoever is needed. And UGC, CSIR, JRF, not NET, right? And along with that, if you have this Inspire PhD fellowship, again, I'll talk to you about this. Then also they invite you for interview. Invite you as in they shortlist you for interview once you apply. Everywhere you need to apply, right? Okay. So CMI, Chennai Mathematical Institute. This is another institute which is devoted to mathematics, right? You have PhD course there that you can do, and that is by their entrance exam. And the other option that you have is either going by NDHM PhD screening test. And let me tell you, for NDHM PhD screening test, if you appear, this PhD scholarship test, if you appear, the cutoff will be highest for CMI, right? You will have some cutoff for appearing into interview for availing this scholarship. Then cutoff for HRI will be higher than this, and for CMI will be even higher, right? So you need to score really high in the written test of NDHM to be able to eligible for being shortlisted for CMI interview. IMSC, the Institute of Mathematical Sciences, Chennai. So these are also generally called as sister institutes because of their location in Chennai. They are quite nearby. And the courses offered by them are PhD and integrated PhD program. And for this, I would like to tell you that they also they send you the letter of invitation for interview in case you score well in PhD scholarship exam, right? So that's another one that you should take care of. Okay, moving further. So you must be aware by now about IISers, which were set up some almost 10 to 15 years ago. So IISer Mohali, for example, I know was established in 2007. So Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, we have 7 of them. The last one, TVM, stands for Trivandrum. All of them do have research in mathematics program. So they generally offer you MS PhD integrated program or a PhD program, right? So I'm just listing a few things about these. The possible modes can be NBHM exam, as I told you. Then this joint CSIR UGC exam, which you are familiar by now. Inspire PhD fellowship, okay. It could be GATE also, and the another one is recently introduced Prime Minister's Research Fellowship, which happens to be right now the highest fellowship in this class, right? Or if you have a BS-MS degree from any IISer with a good CGPA, right? At least 8. So the modes that I have written here, they are not universal to all these 7 IISers. Some of them may apply to some and not the other. And there are also institutes which are okay with any kind of eligibility criteria. So personally, you will have to check which mode is applicable to which IISer. But generally, if you have one of these, you will be able to be shortlisted for interview, right? And then you also have National Institute of Science Education and Research, which we generally call as NISER Bhubaneswar in Odisha, right? This is also autonomous institute, and this is under Department of Atomic Energy. This is a constituent of Homi Bhabha National Institute. So you can also carry out your doctoral research there. Then IITs, you all are familiar with Indian Institute of Technology, Premier Institute of Technology, which have their importance, which have their reputation for a long time now and are familiar. So I've listed the old ones and the new ones also. You have a number of them now. So that's a very good option for you to get into these institutes and carry out your doctoral research. So the course structure and mode are almost similar to what IISers have. So I'm not listing them once again. And so one thing that you need to remember is interview process is something which plays a very crucial role, right? So they are generally provided institute research fellowship in case you don't have any of the fellowship, right? For example, if you entered for the shortlisting via GATE, right? Then you can also, fellowship won't be a problem in general if you are able to go through interview. That's something that I wanted to point out. Then you also have Indian Statistical Institutes in New Delhi and Kolkata where you can apply. Along with that, there are numerous universities for which it was not possible for me to kind of list down everything. So you have various state and central universities and also the colleges under them that you can look forward to. Mostly they do not have this written exam of their own, but some of them do have. It is on the basis of CSIR UGC net that you get into these institutions. So locally one needs to check institute by institute, but there are not many options that you have. Okay, with that, okay, there's another one, sorry, I missed. Homi Bhabha Center for Science Education. So they have, so this I would like you to check out because as per my understanding, it's not the mainstream PhD that we do. Their focus is on research in science and mathematics education. They aim at improving the way of teaching mathematics by workshops in several activities at school level and at undergraduate level. So they also provide doctoral research work in certain areas which are relevant for you. Okay? And now I talk of funding options in research. As I said, the things will be little repetitive because everything is almost interconnected, but still I would like to go over the things once again. So the first one you're familiar with, and I won't talk about it again. Then the second one also, NBHM scholarship exam, PhD scholarship exam, and now you know its importance. It's not just the fellowship that these two exams are giving you, but they are gateway to so many institutions which take them as the entrance exam, which count their score for entering, screening you for the interview. And with that, you also have this Inspire Fellowships, Innovation of Science Pursuit for Inspired Research. Those who are unaware, I would like to request you to please visit the site. So this is DST, Department of Science and Technology, flagship program of DST, where they have fellowships for various stages. And in fact, right from BSc or even earlier, they do have some programs and awards which can benefit you with this. And they also have PhD fellowships provided under one of the schemes, right? So this has various components, and I'm sure one of those would be quite suitable for you. So please just check this out. And then we have this Prime Minister's Research Fellowship. So Prime Minister's Research Fellowship, as I said earlier, is right now the highest paid fellowship that we have for PhD program. But then, but then you cannot really appear for this fellowship once you get into the institutions which are associated to or which are PMRF granting institutes. There are 38 of them, for example, Aligarh Muslim University or IISers or IITs, right? So there are various institutions which are associated to this research fellowship. And if you want this fellowship, the institute can nominate you. You cannot apply directly for this fellowship, right? So, and in case the nomination goes through, and there is no deadline for this. This is a rolling advertisement that we have for this research fellowship. So you must explore this one also, I would say. And then there are also institutional fellowships that you have. As I said, in case you get into TIFR or IITs or IISers, and suppose if you do not have a PhD fellowship to support you, these institutions are going to provide you scholarship. Though if you have external funding, that is always well appreciated. But then there is this other option also that you have, and it varies. The scale of it varies from institute to institute. Along with that, I thought it would be nice to also include this postdoctoral research fellowships that we have. So as I said, Inspire has various components. One of them is also the postdoctoral fellowship that they have. And in fact, they also have faculty scheme. In fact, I am one of the person who has got benefit of that. I'm Inspire faculty awardee. So is Dr. Vivek Parker. And so they do provide you postdoctoral fellowship. So does NBHM. And then there is also this scheme by Science and Engineering Research Board. So they provide you National Postdoctoral Fellowship for Research. And all of these fellowships are also associated to a good contingent grant for doctoral as well as postdoctoral thing. And then there is this DS Kothari Postdoctoral Fellowship that one can apply for. Also, there are women scientist schemes, and they have various components. In fact, there are also schemes in case some women scientists had to have a break in their career because of some personal reasons or anything, and they want to join back, they want to get into research. So maybe, I mean, some of you will definitely get into research, and down the line you will need one of these fellowships. So I thought it's a good time to introduce these. Of course, institutional postdoctoral fellowships are there. And all the institutes that I mentioned earlier mostly have this institutional fellowship. This is generally not available, or I would say not at par with the good, with the CSIR fellowships or NBHM fellowships. in case of universities or colleges, but mostly there is some provision that one look up to, right? In addition to that, now that we are running out of time, I'll just quickly go over what other things could be in your benefit, what other, so basically I'm just sharing my knowledge about, all that you can do while being in a mathematics zone. That's the only thing I'm trying to do here. So summer schools and workshops, you should actually look into applying to one or the other summer schools. I list few of the ones which I know. So MTTS, Mathematics Training and Talent Search Program, wonderful program which is conducted in 3 levels, level 0, 1 and 2, depending upon if you're in BSc or in first year of your MSc, so depending upon career stage. And they organize a wonderful program where you actually learn how to learn mathematics, how to do mathematics. And I really recommend you to please look into if you can apply for this. And let me tell you, for most of summer schools that I list here, logistics expenditure are all covered, including your travel. So there is no cost that you have to pay for this. So please go into looking up to what programs could be best suited for you and how could you apply for them. Then you have this summer student research program organized by TIFR, this Center of Applicable Mathematics. As I said earlier, they also organize such program. Then you also have summer program in mathematics organized by HRI, Harshan Research Institute, Allahabad. And also ICTS Bangalore conducts such internships and projects. Then there are also summer programs conducted by IMSc Chennai. So these summer programs, as I told you earlier, these are small workshops. So generally they are 2 weeks, 3 weeks or 4-week long workshops where when you go to these institutes, maybe some of them are being conducted online due to pandemic. So you stay there and all your expenses are taken care of. And also some of them do provide some kind of per diem expenditure also, right? So you just have everything to gain, a lot to understand in mathematics, apart from what you study in regular curriculum, or maybe with a different prospect, I would say, right? It gives you a very good exposure. Then you can also do some summer projects. So summer schools, you have a course structure which will be given to you to apply, to follow, and you work according to that. But you can choose to do a summer project yourself at any of these institutes, maybe Indian Statistical Institute or Chennai Mathematical Institute or Tata Institute of Fundamental Research or IISc Bangalore or ICTS or IISers or even IITs. So any of these places do offer you to have a summer project, right? Make good use of your summer time. You may actually benefit a lot out of it. So for this, one thing is that generally institutes support you with the accommodation cost. You don't have to pay for accommodation. And along with that, DST Inspire scholarship are given for these projects if you want to go and do a project there with one of the faculty members there. And also INSA, so these are 3 academies, these are 3 national science academies of India, INSA, IISc and NASI. So these academies also jointly provide this summer research fellowship, under which you can go to one of the fellows of these academies, or I think they have also now relaxed this condition that you can also go to a non-fellow of the academies, do a project with them and learn out of it. So this is generally expected to be 2 months long project, and you are paid a stipend for that. All your expenses are taken care of, and there is a proper system that is associated to this. And one more thing, MS project. So this is something that students at IISers and IITs are familiar with, because for BSMS program, their final year is meant for, they are supposed to do this project, but for others, this could be a new concept. So look into what kind of MS projects people are doing and how it benefits them, because if you want to enter into research, so choose your MS project very wisely so that it helps you to kind of have a better impact in your research, admission, and execution both, right? So with that, I'd just like to go over my last slide where I'd like to just lay stress on some other things apart from the information that you have. So first thing is timeline, very important thing. Importance of roadmap, you should understand. Build a roadmap for yourself, what you plan to do, how you plan to do. As you might have seen, there are a lot of options and a lot of exams that you need to appear for and also prepare for. So doing the homework of it, like what all exams you have to appear, what are their windows of, when they open up this application, what are their tentative deadlines, and when do you have to fill out those application forms, when do you have to appear for them, and also you need to do preparation along with your semester exams or annual exams, right? You cannot get rid of them. So you actually should make a rough as well as a fine roadmap. I understood this concept at a very late stage of my academic career, I would say, though I don't regret not scoring well at any place, but this roadmap has its own importance, and the sooner you learn, the more benefit you're going to get out of it. So please make a timeline for yourself, because doing this homework itself takes a lot of time, and then preparation is another part that you have. See, writing a circular vitae is something very important, and not everybody has art of writing it, because when you appear for interview, generally this will be needed, and the presentation in that, what all needs to be executed in what form, so that it is catchy also, and you do not give any irrelevant information and everything. So you need to work on what kind of CV you are providing for any sort of interview. That is something that you should take care of. Then recommendation letters, as I said, for your MS project is very important. Summer project is very important. Do well in those, because when you enter into doctoral research, you might need some recommendation letters from somebody to say that yes, you are sincere enough, you are good at mathematics, you have this aptitude. So take care of this thing also. Keep this thing in mind, the concept of recommendation letters, which you will need almost at every stage of your life. And writing a proposal, that's also an art, I would say, for applying for some fellowship, when you need to give the details of what kind of research you're going to do or what do you intend to do. This is something that you will need every now and then once you enter into research. So learn this art of writing a proposal or email or application. In fact, for the exam 2021 also, I see some students really just write one night. It doesn't hurt us, no problem. But when you have to write an email to somebody, some professional, where you want to put your best foot forward, there is a proper formal way of drafting your email. So get a good hold of that. That is also something I would like to highlight. And with this, I would like to stop here. And one question that I would like you to ask yourself is, why do you really want to do research? Just ask yourself. There could be number of reasons. For example, if it is needed for your job, for example, if you just want to boast of having this doctor with your name, or it could be something as a next step to your post-graduation. There could be numerous reasons, but take some time to think, why do you really want to do research, and enter into it only if you have one strong reason to convince your own self. For example, my reason was that, and it continues to be, this is some way where some career where you will be never saturated of the quality or the quantity. There's always something to learn and grow. That was my reason, and that continues to be. So before making a decision of entering into research, please make sure you have a strong reason to convince yourself. And with that, I would like to stop and hand it over to Dr. Vivek Parker for all the students present here. Just enjoy mathematics and have a happy learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Sugandha, for a very informative lecture. I'm sure students who must have benefited from this your lecture. There are several questions in the chat box if you want to answer some of them.
It makes me happy to see so many chat. This chat box filled, but I really don't know where to start from. So one thing that I see is, can we get more than one fellowship? No, you cannot avail two fellowships at a time, but you can switch over from one to the other. That's always possible. So you can choose the higher one, but you cannot have two at a time. Okay, is it good for doing PhD from state universities? I do not have any general answer to this. Good or bad, these are all relative terms. I can, so whatever I can tell you is from my own experience. So I've studied from Punjab University for almost 10 years. After my schooling, I was just there, and I've not lagged behind from any student studying in IIT or IISER or anything. I think I'm at par with them. So it doesn't really make difference. Of course, the environment difference is there, and there are a lot many things, but most important is how you take yourself forward. How much effort do you put into the learning? That is even more important. So of course, try for the best ones that you think of, but then it's not that no state university or central university is bad enough to not to do a PhD from there. So I wouldn't say that
Yeah,
way.
we have to actually running out of time, so I think we'll stop here. And whoever
Okay.
wants to any questions, they can write in our exam email ID, and we'll be happy to answer it. Okay. So whoever wants to have any further doubts they want to clear, they can write in our email. I will sort it out there via email. Okay. So next in the plan we have this brief report. I'll just share my screen and start this brief report. Yeah, so this is just the what we have done in last 6 days. That is just a brief report of this exam 21 workshop, and from 19 to 24 July. Actually, in the flyer we have mentioned 18, but due to some technical reasons we could not start on 18. So we have started on 19, and we are finishing today on 24th of July. Okay, so as you can see, the total number of registrations that we received are 1783 from the this is the Google form which was shared with you, and we have got the responses till the last day of this workshop. Like 19th, we have closed the registrations, and till that day we have this many registrations in the Google form. And this is the typical gender-wise representation, almost equal. 53% female and 46% male. That is the ratio we have received in the number of applications. This is the MSc completion year-wise distribution. You can see the MSc students who are completing in 2022 are the maximum, around 36%, followed by the students who are completed this year MSc. They are 26%. Also, we have got representation before 2018. Also is around 14%. So that much people are interested to qualify this exam, so they have joined for this workshop. And this is the state-wise distribution. We have covered almost all the states from the different states. As you can see here, from different areas, we have received maximum number of applications from West Bengal and Tamil Nadu, and followed by different regions. And also we have some applications from UAE as well. A few of them you can see here. And this is the brief summary. 1783 registrations. Actual sessions were conducted on Zoom platform, and YouTube live streaming was made available for the participants. And first day we had the inauguration session, and organizers and resource persons attended for this. And Dr. Sugandha Maheshwari welcomed the participants, and myself brief about the previous workshops and introduced exam 21. And here Inyas addressed the occasion for this into the inauguration session. Then this is the schedule we have followed. From Monday, we had heard from Dr. Atul Dikshit. On Tuesday, Dr. Manoj Kumar Patel, then Dr. Sugandha Maheshwari, then Dr. Syed Abbas, then Dr. Dvijendra Pandey, and Dr. Hemen Datta. And today, just now, we heard about from Dr. Sugandha Maheshwari. And we have followed exactly the same schedule. We did not have to change any schedule further. And thanks for the excellent lectures conducted by all the resource persons. and today we are in this feedback session. And all these days, evenings were kept free for the online assessments as you received from the Google Forms. And all the videos of this online workshop are going to be available on our INEAS YouTube channel. This is the screenshot of the playlist we have created, Exam 2021 workshop, and all these videos are available day-wise on in this playlist. And this is the typical number of views that we have received today. Till today, the record of views is excellent. Day one, something like 3,000 views we have received. Day two, 1,800. Day three, 1,200, and so on. So this number of views are going to increase as the day progresses, I'm sure. And this is the Google group we have created for correspondence. It was not easy to communicate with so many students, so we have created the Google group. And the Google group had the limitation that we could able to send only 100, add only 100 participants in one day, in that is 24 hours. So we could add, and remaining we have sent the invitations. So some of you have accepted the invitations, and remaining we have added in the Google group. Till today we have added up to 1,766 members we have added, and some of you have not accepted the invitation, so it is still pending. And this is the correspondence you can see here. If you have missed any of the emails, you can see, you can go to the Exam 2021 group itself, and you can see all the emails listed here. So from day one to till today, all the emails you can see here. Okay, so this is the online assessment record that we have shared to Google Forms. Test one is around 200 students have appeared for test one, and then followed by the rest of the test. We wanted to have, would have liked to have more number of students appeared for this exam, but somehow they could not do it. But anyway, this forms will remain open, and we are going to also remove that option of limited to one response. That will remove it, so that it will be always available with you, the Google Forms. And this is the typical Google form that we have shared, and you can see here the screenshot of the form and the number of responses that we receive here, and we can see the distribution of the marks as you can see from here. Many students have got medium is something like 16 for this particular test. So we could see how many students, how much marks you are getting after the distribution. What are the few takeaways from this workshop? So we have 6 sessions and 30 questions, like 10 questions have been solved in the online, and 20 have been given the Google form. So something like 180 question bank is available for you for practice, more practice. Okay, and all YouTube videos will be available on our INEAS YouTube channel, so you can view it anytime. And for part A, which is not covered in this particular workshop, we'll provide you the YouTube link. Which this part A was covered in our previous workshop. So I will share this Google group, this part A link of this YouTube link in next email. And the study material and few references will be sent in the Google Drive. That we'll do it after the workshop. And INEAS will continue to do more such activities in future, and follow us on our INEAS YouTube channel for this. And this is the screenshots of our previous workshop. Like this is the today Exam 21. Then we have this biology workshop, chemistry workshop, and physics workshop. So you can tell your friends if they have not attended this workshop, they can view on this playlist that these workshops are available on our INEAS YouTube channel, and they can take the benefit of this workshop as well. So with this, I wish you all the best for your exams, and thank you very much.
Hello.
Thank you, Vivek.
Yeah.
Sir, can you provide certificate in this workshop?
Please wait.
You'll be given chance to speak. I'll try to accommodate most of you. So, right? And we'll also take up some general questions regarding certificate and everything. All right, so thank you, Vivek, for your brief report, and that tells us that there's a lot that we have covered up, and it's a nice journey that we have been through, not only for this workshop, but for also the previous ones which were conducted before this. And as Vivek said, it will be nice if you can promote it to your colleagues to go over the videos which are present there. Right, it is time for feedback from students, and we will have also a photograph after this. So in case you want to interact with any of us, of course, you are free to do that, but please raise your hand and speak out only once I call your name. Otherwise, there will be a lot of mess. And let me tell you, we'd not like to hear only the positive comments, but also healthy criticism for improvement. But at the same time, I request you to be conscious of anything and everything that you say or write later in the feedback forms, which we are going to share with you. Just realize that all the resource persons here and all the organizers are at that stage of their career that they really have very tight daily schedule. For example, Vivek was also involved in another workshop in the first half, and I also had a meeting just before this session, and we have hundreds of things to do. Same goes for other resource persons also. So it is appreciable that they managed time for this workshop, and it's not only the time spent on screen with you, but also the hours which have gone into the preparation to deliver you the best, right? So it is actually out of their comfort zones because we prepared for these exams long back, right? At least a decade ago. So sorting out material for that, preparing for questions and lectures and assignment preparation, everything takes effort. So, and also one needs to be friendly with the technology. We have been juggling in the meetings with the gadgets and how to make things presentable for you and things like that. So, and it's just entirely at the personal level, and also as a member of INIAS, that we strive for the upliftment of scientific research in India in the best of our capacity. And about INIAS, I told earlier also, but I would like to tell you that it's a pool of almost 100 scientists that we have across the nation, across varied disciplines, and we do a number of events every now and then. So I'd also suggest you to subscribe to INIAS YouTube channel if you have not done yet for regular updates. There could be various things which are relevant for you, ranging from school students to the topmost level. We have various workshops going on in this direction, not just for mathematics, for general issues related to science. So now with that, I ask you to please raise your hand if you want to say something. And also regarding this certificate thing, we do not plan to give any certificate because we really don't know on YouTube who has attended which lectures and right. So it was just for your benefit. We really don't want to put it on paper. I don't see any use to it. So now if you can raise your hand to talk about anything, any feedback, or if you want to interact with any of us. We also have Vijendra Pandey with us. We also have Syed Abbas with us and Hemant Datta with us, the resource persons with whom you had your sessions. So I request you all to please switch on your videos. Dr. Hemant, Dr. Pandey, and Dr. Abbas, and also the students to raise hands. Okay, so I see Kabir Barohi. So please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am and sirs. First of all, I'd like to thank the sessions that you provide. It will help us a lot, not because it gives us a clear sketch of how we have to prepare for our exams. And I want to know from you, ma'am, how can we apply for this project that you mentioned on the last slide, that in IITs and IITs. So how can we, summer project that you mentioned? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so one thing is the topic on which you want to do project, and the second thing is the teacher with whom you want to do that project. So just write directly to the teacher, I would say. They'll let you know if they can do this project with you or not. That is one thing. And regarding this INSA, I mean Academy's fellowship that I mentioned, for that you will have to apply online, right? So if you get that fellowship and with that you approach to a teacher, then they know that you have this fellowship. Otherwise, without fellowship, you can do this summer project with wherever you want to do. Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Aina Sharma, please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, good evening, every teachers, and thank you for this amazing workshop. It has been a very good experience. Ma'am, actually, I had a question that still I'm doing MSc and I'm in first year. And for PhD, till now, I'm not able to decide in which subject I have got interest. I will be interested. So how to deal with that confusion?
I don't blame you. So it's a general thing that every student has, and I think all of us will agree to it. So, but then nobody else can help you. You will only have to decide for yourself.
And ma'am,
It's a multidimensional problem because you just don't have to think about the subject that you like, where you have aptitude, but also of in which institute you want to go, and the faculty there, in which areas do they work and everything. But one thing that I would like to add to it is that you have to begin from scratch. You have to learn everything almost new. This is just a base that is formed during your BSMS. So don't be afraid of taking anything new in PhD. But of course, your interest, you have to decide.
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
See a lot of comments, and I feel very nice about reading these positive comments on comment box. But I don't understand why are students shy to not unmute themselves and speak it out or be ready for a picture. Can you please switch on your videos? Yeah, I see some of them here. I can see Shivam, I can see Sanjil, Bharti Bhatt, Biplab, and so Shivam's comment also I could see something here. And I also see some of my students here. So it's nice that you people have joined. So anybody would like to say anything further? Or we'll move towards the closing of the session. Okay, so with these videos on, we'd like to have a picture. Madhvi, can you please click a picture for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Or I'll give 1 more minute because I see some more students joining us now. So please switch on your videos. It will be nice to have this memory, not just as YouTube viewers. Okay, we can go ahead now. Madhvi, please click a picture for us. Is it done, Madhvi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So, all right. Anything that our resource persons would like to add to, or best wishes if you want to give our students? Maybe we can start from you, Dr. Pandey.
Should I start? Should I say something? Yeah, okay. So my only advice is to focus on concept, because during this workshop we are not able to touch almost all the topics. In fact, we have focused only few topics which we thought that it is very important for these competitive examination. But remaining topics are still there, and questions are asked on those remaining portions also. So I request and I suggest that you should focus on concept, because in these examination, generally new questions are asked based on the concept. So if you clear your concept, I think the chances are more to clear these examinations. This is the only advice I can have right now. And best of luck.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey. One line that we would like to hear from you, Dr. Heyman. Please unmute yourself.
Unmute.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sugandha. The program was all good. And today I could not cover some topic due to time limitation. And I expect them to cover in future if another opportunity comes my way. And I hope the students were able to learn something new from this workshop. And best wishes to all the students. It's all from my side. It's over to you, Sugandha.
Thank you, Dr. Heyman. Dr. Abbas, we would like to hear from you. So he has been coordinating for everything and has been co-assisting us along with the lectures that he delivered to you. So Dr. Abbas.
Yeah, thank you, Sugandha. Yeah, so my advice is just read good books, I would say, and keep on increasing your level. So that is very important. And it was a nice experience. And yes, as Pandey also mentioned, that we could not cover many things because due to time limitation. So the student, they should be like reading the other stuffs, and they should focus on concepts, fundamentals. That is very important. So that's it, and best wishes to them.
Thank you, Dr. Syed, and Dr. Atul and Dr. Manoj Kumar Patel could not join us because they are traveling for their work. So it's time to kind of wind up. We have come to end of this workshop, Exam 2021, and I see it as a hope to give you a good beginning in your career. And it's time to say thanks to not one but all. Firstly and foremost, thanks goes to Dr. Vivek Parker, who came up with the idea of this workshop. Though I have been thinking about any such thing for a long time, because every now and then students come to me asking about so many questions, which I tried to answer during my lectures. So as I told you, he came up with the idea and has also been very consistently involved with the smooth execution of this. You might have realized he has been answering a lot of mails, and so he has been taking care of all this work which goes behind the smooth execution. My thanks goes to Dr. Sharma, Dr. Chandrasekhar Sharma, who is Chair in YAS, for giving free hand support to the workshop. He never said no to anything. And also the organizing committee that includes Dr. Vivek, myself, Sugandha Maheshwari, and Dr. Syed Abbas. And of course, this workshop, the main role is played by the resource persons and our students. So I thank Dr. Atul Dikshit, Dr. Manoj Kumar Pandey, Dr. Manoj Kumar Patel, and Dr. Dvijendra Pandey, Dr. Hemendrita, along with Dr. Syed and of course myself, for being resource person. Very big thanks to all of you for watching the YouTube videos. We can see there are a lot many views and the number increases with time. We also hear for a lot of queries from you. And one person who I'd like to thank is Madhvi, who takes care of Ina's office, and she has consistently been with us. And it's not only this meeting that she's taking care of, there are so many events going around. So she has been taking care of YouTube live streaming and Zoom account. So thanks to one and all. We really wish you best of your journey, not just in mathematics, but in life. It's time to say bye.